Hey guys, hi, welcome back once again. My name is Vaishali, and today I'd like to talk about our idea of what's interesting. So recently I took this test wherein it was asked, what do I generally think about on most days? And my answer to that was, what if we had more PK-like characters in the world? And the extreme end of that was, what if the entire world was filled up with individuals like PK? So quite obviously it's very clear that I'm quite fascinated with this character PK. The character, the individual, the person that doesn't have a name, doesn't even identify with a name, doesn't have an understanding of a gender and its associated role plays in the world that we live in, and therefore even doesn't identify with a particular gender and all the role plays that come with that particular gender. Doesn't have a religion, so of course has no biases with regards to choosing this or choosing that. Having to follow this or having to follow that kind of a belief. Doesn't even wear clothes to pretty himself up or even to hide or camouflage himself, to present a certain persona to the world. Probably because he's completely okay with how he is and what he is. He doesn't even have a verbal language through which he can either express or hide his true feelings, his true thoughts. And since he, or let's say she, or they don't have a construct around all of these aspects, they probably, or he probably, or she probably do not play the game of hide and seek, both on the personal and on the interpersonal levels. Now coming back to where I began from, which is our ideas or perceptions of things being interesting. Well, we have a saying in English which goes, it takes all kinds, it takes every kind to make the world, and it takes all kinds and every kind to make the world go round. Well, if it takes every kind and everything to make things interesting, to make life interesting, to make the world go round, to make the world a little more interesting, then having everybody as PK might become quite boring, might even seem quite boring in the way we experience our reality. For every kind would mean everything that makes sense and everything that doesn't make sense, which implies senselessness, nonsense even, because we do have these words in our dictionaries. It would take a smart and an idiot at the same time. It would take the sensitive and the senseless and even the insensitive to make our world more interesting. It would take our understanding of normal and our understanding of lunacy or neurotic to be able to make the world more interesting. It would take a saint and even a so-called sinner to make the world more interesting, to make the world go round. It would take a cowardly and it would equally take a brave and a courageous one to make the world seemingly more interesting, or at least our ideas of what interesting is all about. It would equally take equal dosages or imbalanced dosages of open-hearted and closed-hearted, of open-minded and closed-minded people, of somebody who's flexible and somebody who's not flexible, of somebody who's an extrovert and somebody who's an introvert, of somebody who's a people pleaser, somebody who likes to work with people, and somebody who likes to dominate over people, somebody who can even become a dictator. And in keeping with the last video, probably our understanding of interesting is having a split within, of having all of these different aspects within our own selves, whether we accept them or we deny them. So given that understanding of how the world would function if everybody was integrated like PK, and how we function within ourselves as of today, how we have been functioning for the longest time, wherein we are disintegrated within our own selves. What is more interesting, or is our idea and our perception of interesting a little messed up? Let's try and think about what makes us and makes our life, makes our interactions interesting. Let's really think about that, and I will see you once again the next week. Till then, stay tuned in. And guys, if you do like the contents of my videos, please do like, share and subscribe.